hang on. Something's not right. Much better. Now that we have this sign up, let's talk about the problem at hand. Jake Parker has a history of taking advantage of artists, and most recently, in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement, completely plagiarized a black man's art, specifically a book on drawing techniques. Now, there's so many arguments from people saying that, oh, but these are ancient techniques, they're traditional techniques. Please watch Alphonso Dunn's entire video. Please look into art's law and what plagiarization actually is like, because it's very, very clear, as someone who studied art's law at uni as part of my art degree, it's very clear that his work is plagiarized. And most notably, you know, it's a 50-minute video because he goes in depth. Most notably, where it's most obvious is where he changes words and they mean the same thing because they were using a thesaurus or whatever, but it changes the meaning of what the technique is supposed to be. For example, he says 5 lines to use when it's actually strokes, and what that, you know, the implications of that Alphonso can explain, whereas Jake Parker, or more likely a ghostwriter, you know, plagiarized quite a lot of content. If you disagree, sorry, you're wrong. That's just how facts work. But the interesting thing is, this isn't the first time he's gotten into hot water. Previously, he tried to trademark Inktober so that artists could not sell their own artwork under the Inktober name, despite it being created as part of a challenge that he started, but was popularized by artists making it their own. He tried to trademark it so that people could not sell their work with that title or with that attached to the work. He kind of backpedaled and was like, oh no, my lawyer was overzealous. And again, as someone who understands arts law, that's not how it works. But I would like to talk about the poster that I've put up behind me, like this little sign. The people who have been cancelled almost never face the consequences. I'm going to talk about something quite triggering for a moment, including trigger warnings right now so that you know what the content will be. Brock Turner, who drugged and took advantage of, because I don't really want to use the R word, of this young woman. He wasn't punished properly. People said that his life would be ruined. And yet he's doing fantastic. Nothing has happened to him. His life is going where it's going. President of the United States is literally a pedophile and was found to be sexually assaulting children, and was during running for presidency. This is genuinely insane. There were court cases against him for sexually assaulting children. He has talked about his own daughter in incredibly graphic terms. He has talked about women in incredibly graphic terms. Has he faced any consequences? Has Chris Brown? Has Johnny Depp? Their careers are fine. They're living their lives. Jeffree Star is doing fine. James Charles is still doing fine despite continuing to fuck up. Cancel culture isn't real. No one is being held accountable for their actions, and I'm very, very tired of it from an emotional, psychological, and just genuinely, like generally political point of view, because we keep letting people get away with shit. Logan Paul is still making content and getting paid for it. Are you kidding me? Cancel culture isn't real, but it should be, honestly. That's my main point. So, now that we've gotten over the painful and gross part of, you know, this whole dilemma, I feel like a villain every time I do this. Let's forget about this sad little man and think about all the great challenges that have come out of people trying to do something else. To do something else in October that they can still draw and keep up that great, vibrant community. On my little laptop here, covered in beautiful little stickers from Andy J Pizza, Shay and Barton, and Jisoo or Jisubi. I've got some challenges here. Oh, look, I have a nice tan. I have a list of Inktober challenges, that I think people will really enjoy. And I'm gonna go through them really quick. And while I do that, here is a time lapse of me digitally drawing something that I haven't done yet. So it'll be a surprise for you and for me. Ooh. So first up we have Drawlloween. I really like the comedic approach. I love that there's one that says, ghouls just want to have fun, and Batatouille. And there's a clown in my closet. I love these. I think that they can make some really great content. So if you want to do a Halloween themed one, Drawlloween is probably the way for you to go. But there's still more spookiness to be had. Midnightober by Doki Rosie is really cool. They have things like water lilies and cursed melody. Celestial armor is another favorite of mine. And it has some spooky vibes, some magic-y vibes. It's got some magic and witchy goodness to it. So that's another spooky approach, but it's still got like a bit of elegance to it. And here's one that I think is pretty cool. It's OCtober, where you draw OCs. I love the idea of basing OCs on colours, so that they're split into weeks. You've got Introducing Week and Rainbow Week and RPG Jobs Week and Seasons Week. I love the idea of putting your OCs into school uniforms, or inventing a cleric, or making one of your OCs cosplay as a cleric, I guess. And I love the idea of drawing rivals, so this is great. Sarah Dund, brilliant idea. And here's one for the lesbians, Sapphic Drawtober by Sapphic Sundial. I love academia. I think you're going to get some really good dark academia drawings out of it. I love the idea of mermaids and Medusa, lesbian Medusa. My heart is melting. Retro. Come on, give me those warm 80s color vibes. So good. Next on my list is another spooky one. We've got Spelltober by Herborial Art. Apothecary is a favorite. Moon phases, I think, could go really, really well. Candles, I think people could do a really interesting interpretation of. And Casting Circle, I think, would be another really cool one to see people take on. So that's another really cool Halloween-y themed list. Now we've got Drawtober, which I'm a huge fan of simply because it's 1 month and it's 6 prompts. So you can take your time, you can make one piece, you can make multiple pieces, you can do something elaborate or something minimal. It's all on you. You do what you want. I love the idea of a spooky harvest festival and folklore. We need to draw more folklore stuff, my friends. It's good stuff. Next we have Peachy Doodle's Frogtober, which is one that I'm probably going to end up doing myself. I am so keen on the mushroom collecting one, and also woodland walks. But rain boots and umbrellas is so sweet, and market stalls, cassette tapes, are you kidding me? They're all just so good. Now here's another one that I'm probably going to be doing. I might combine the two. I'm not sure yet. This one is by my friend Johanna, and it's Craeftober, and I love everything about it. I love that one of the prompts is just honeybee. I love that one of them is just sprout. Plum, I really love. I think I might do a sugar plum fairy type thing. Community is one. It's just wholesome. So wholesome. Next we have one by Stuart Semple, which is brilliant because if you know anything about Stuart Semple, you would know that he made the pinkest pink in retaliation of Anish Kapoor, making it impossible for other artists to use the blackest black. And Anish Kapoor got hold of it and dipped his middle finger in it and was just being an absolute twat about it. He was being nasty, and Stuart Semple is not enjoying Jake Parker's vibes and has decided to make Pinktober in response. And he's got a little thing about why we're doing Pinktober, and he says, "We believe in supporting artists to create and make new work and not profiting off their talents. That's why we've created Pinktober in protest of Inktober Jake Parker for the exploitation of artists and makers around the world. Note, by taking part in Pinktober, you can confirm that you are not Jake Parker, you are in no way affiliated to Jake Parker, and you are not taking part in Pinktober on behalf of Jake Parker and an associate of Jake Parker. Which is a thing he did when he was selling the Pinkest Pink and his other materials. It says, you're not associated with Anish Kapoor, you're not buying this on behalf of Anish Kapoor, etc., etc. And these prompts are brilliant. Things like greedy and social media, karma, and trash, cloud, poison, slimy, rebellion. They're more interesting than a lot of other challenges I've seen, because I think people try and focus on wholesome and simple things, whereas this one, it can be a bit more creative with just doing like whatever, really, and I think that's fun. Now we've got one by Mags Monroe, and the challenge is called Magtober. My favourite ones on this list are shuffle your music and draw based off the song. I love that. Draw on a sticky note. Pick something and fill up a page of studies. Imaginative anatomy. How you take your coffee. These are so good and I love them. And I think that they would be good challenges for any time, so I'm gonna do some of those in my sketchbook when I get stuck. And that's the list I have compiled for you. So yeah, that's a list of the Inktober challenges that I found that I thought were really interesting. Some are from bigger creators, some are from smaller creators, some are from friends, some are from strangers. I'm kind of torn between doing Craeftober and Frogtober because I love both my friend Johanna and Peachy Doodle. And I'm thinking of combining the two. I'm not sure yet, we shall see. But yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, I almost forgot. Quote of the day, song of the day, book of the day. I'm still reading this. I'm almost finished though. I am here now. Almost done. Spent an hour or so in the garden today reading this in the sun. It's very nice. Napped with the kittens. Song of the day is Furniture by Maud Latour. I love her vibe, I love her energy, her music videos are great, I'm in love with her as a human being and possibly as a person, which are very different things. I don't know how to explain them, but there we go. And my quote of the day is, as much as I hate George Orwell, there is a quote by him that I've, for so long, felt resonated with me. And it is, perhaps one didn't want to be loved so much as to be understood. That's the video for this week. I am really keen to hear what challenge you're doing, if you're doing more than one, why, but also welcome to the club, because I'm probably doing more than one. If you have any suggestions for Inktober challenges that you think people would enjoy, please leave them in the comments below, or on my Instagram, because this will be a Instagram post as well. I promote my YouTube videos every Tuesday on my Instagram, so you can leave a comment there, tag the creators of challenges so people can find them more easily. If you have any ideas for what you want to see me do on this channel, that would be great. I'm hoping to do more fine art stuff. I'm taking a break from illustrative stuff, apart from like the October challenges. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you're doing okay. And if you're not, oh, you poor chook. Bye. Do people still do that anymore? I don't know, I feel old. Where's the button? Oh dear. Oh bother. Pooh Bear's back.